had to take psychology class, and that was... Anybody take psychology? Anybody? Alright, yeah. It was a bad joke. And for psychology, it was this really strange class for me, and it was really strange because on the last day we had our final exam, and the guy and the teacher comes in, with this plan, and he's pretty much just like, all right, everybody, you're going to be writing a paper today for your final exam, and I want you, for your paper, based on what you've learned in psychology class, prove to me that this plant does not exist. So I wrote, what plant? School's been really cool. I think I've been watching too much TV though. I like CSI. Anybody watch CSI? The only thing about CSI, I believe, is that as you watch it for too much, it's like I start getting afraid. I'm actually really now afraid that somebody's going to commit a crime against me. Like I'm afraid somebody's going to steal my car. So I keep it on empty, and my reasoning is, you're not gonna be getting my car and my gas, okay? It's a little much. I mean, you're not gonna be like riding my car with my gas, listening to my music. I mean, you probably don't even like Hannah Montana, okay? It's probably an issue. But I got my hair cut out of beauty college, so that explains that. Just don't ever go. It was not, like they give you your haircut for like a Snickers, This is actually footage of like this girl cutting my hair. She's doing it. I'm like, and the teacher's sitting there going, no. This is your last chance. Try the other side. I want to stop making it shorter. Pretty bad. But the thing that I love about college is that my parents are there, so I can eat whatever I want. And it's. But when I come home, I don't really like it because my mom's always like, oh, I want you to eat healthy, and I try to explain it to her, no. Well, my feeling about everything is that if you've always been overweight and you're still overweight, you're not overweight. That's called maintaining. But this is my rationalization. If you eat healthy, you live longer. But as Christians, this world is not our home. So, eat Twinkies for cheese. Eat Sugar Sea Guy. But I gotta look at my notes here. But at school, there's a place called it's like our fitness center or whatever, and we got approached by this builder lady fitness person, and her body was just wrong. She came up to us and I was like, oh, this lady's nice, and she had a little hair up in a bun. So I thought, turned out to be a muscle. Damn, I think you're doing squats wrong. The thing is about some of these fitness places that I've seen around, especially in Savannah. There's this. This place called 24 Hour Fitness. think that's a little much. I mean, why not 23-hour fitness, 1 hour TV and ice cream? But this past year, before I left on college, one of my relatives, she's kind of back a little bit in the culture. She gave me the Left Behind series. Anybody with the Left Behind series? Anybody?
Yeah.
Oh man. If the book series, it's pretty much and she also gave me the movies. And has anybody seen the movies? Anybody? Yeah. If you, yeah. It's pretty much a movie about the end times without any special effects. I think they left behind a budget is what they left behind. But the book series, it's pretty much about the end times that just doesn't ever end. but there's this one part, it's in the book and in the movie, the first one. If you read it or ever watched it, you know what I'm talking about, this scene right now. But pretty much the premise, I'll catch it up to you if you haven't read it or whatever. There's this guy named Buck, and he's a reporter, and he's on this international airplane when the rapture occurs. And if you don't know what the rapture is, if nobody's ever told you about it, it's pretty much when all the followers of Christ, pretty much dematerialize, their clothes leave where they at, and then Jesus meets up with people in the sky naked. So, yes. He's on this international flight, and the rapture occurs, but nobody seems to notice. Was everybody just really drowsy? I thought somebody was sitting next to me. More peanuts. So the rapture occurs, and everybody's clothes just drop right where they're at. And this elderly lady right next to Buck on the other side of the aisle, she turns over to Buck and says, "Excuse me, sir." He's like, "Yes, ma'am." He goes, "Can you check the lavatory for my husband?" He's like, "Sure, I'd be happy to." He starts to get up, and she pulls out this pieces of clothing, and he goes, "Oh, can you take this with you? It seems that he's walking off naked." This just doesn't make sense because, they've been married for like 40, 45, 50 years, and he's a known follower of Christ, but it doesn't faze her that he's wandered off naked. Apparently he's exhibited this kind of behavior for